Deep in the cosmic tapestry of possibilities, I-Tempest Fujinat oversees the Multiverses collection, but among them lies the grotesque reflection known as the Dark Multiverse. In one of its twisted iterations, we find Gotham. Here, the familiar tale takes a dark turn. In most Gotham narratives, Bruce Wayne witnesses injustice and becomes the Dark Knight. Enemies rise, including his oldest friend, Thomas Elliot, who adopts the sinister moniker Hush. However, in this version, Bruce and Thomas aren't just friends. The Waynes and Elliots share the tragic night in the alleyway. In this alternate Gotham, the Elliots witness the murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne. They, not Alfred, take in young Bruce, lacking the means to help him. Over the years, Thomas Elliot watches helplessly as Bruce descends into madness, transforming not only their lives but all of Gotham.
Fast forward to the grand opening of the Omni Center, where Gotham's elite gather. The city's defense contractor, Jason Todd, Attorney General Harvey Dent, entrepreneur Oswald Cobblepot, and Gotham's first family, Thomas Elliot and Talia, among others, revel in the festivities. As Thomas and Talia engage with reporters, Thomas receives a mysterious message. He discreetly informs Talia about a call from his doctor friend, and steps away, cautioning her about the unpredictable Jason Todd. Talia, with a reminder of the League of Assassins' influence, ensures Thomas understands his position. Thomas arrives at the hospital, greeted by Dr. Crane, expressing gratitude for expediting a compulsory legal ritual. Ignoring the comment, Thomas presses on, asking when they discovered the unsettling truth.
3.5 years ago, during a bed check, Gotham's security forces had already descended upon the facility, investigating various incidents.
Thomas inquired about the ongoing activities, and Crane, dismissive, mentioned inconsequential matters.
Just a few problematic patients passing away in their sleep,
he nonchalantly remarked, downplaying the severity. However, Thomas, aware of his significant financial contributions, expressed the need to be more informed. As they strolled through the institution, a dissonant voice disrupted their conversation. An inmate began to sing a chilling tune, warning of the ominous bat that haunted Gotham. Intrigued, Thomas questioned Crane about Tetch's eerie melody, and Crane wearily explained it was a morbid rhyme about the legendary Bat Demon from Amadeus Arkham's occult-laden journal. Distracted, Thomas pressed for details on the mysterious deaths mentioned earlier. Crane, leading him to the morgue, assured him that Bruce Wayne's demise was a simple accident, asphyxiation during an unresponsive night. Gazing upon Bruce's lifeless form, Thomas struggled to accept the truth. As Crane proceeded with paperwork, he subtly acknowledged Thomas as the newfound heir to Wayne Industries. Thomas, agitated, warned Crane to never speak of their arrangement again. Crane, complying, excused himself, mentioning an unusual discovery. Bruce was found clutching a ticket, the mark of Zorro. Puzzled, Thomas inspected the ticket, questioning its significance. Exiting the facility, Crane encountered a janitor, who humorously discussed the challenges of nighttime cleaning. Suddenly, the lights flickered out, plunging them into darkness. The janitor assured Crane that it would be a momentary glitch, but as emergency lights illuminated the scene, a chilling sight awaited them. A man shrouded in bandages, the Bat Demon, emerged. Tetch resumed his eerie song as chaos ensued, and Crane found himself under a relentless assault. Later, with a ticket stub in hand, Thomas returned to the party, only to glimpse a mysterious figure outside a nearby building. The night had taken a surreal turn, and Gotham's shadows seemed to hold secrets far more profound than anyone could have imagined. As he examines the scene, the Bat Demon that attacked Crane becomes visible. Suddenly, a missile strikes the helicopter, sending it crashing into the streets below. Amidst the chaos, security personnel takes a head count while a crowd gathers, and a woman's voice cuts through the tumult.
"That's Thomas Elliot's shit,"
declares Barbara Gordon, one of the architects of our corrupt city, the one who murdered my father, the last good cop in Gotham. Outsiders avenge Jim Gordon and take back our city. With that order, Tim Drake and Cassandra spring into action, dispatching security officers as they make their way to the downed helicopter. Cassandra seizes Thomas, sword at his throat, assuring him that his fellow malevolent figures will join him soon. Before Cassandra can act further, another sword thunks into her back. A masked man reveals himself, pulling out the blade as Cassandra falls. "Do you know who I am?" he asks. Tim intervenes, identifying him as a Grey Son. The master man laughs, evading Tim's attack and questioning if he's ready for a fight. Tim retreats, and Thomas, recovering, acknowledges the unexpected arrival of Richard. Richard explains that President March sent him, revealing that this is not an isolated incident. Attorney General Dent and GSF Captain Floss are missing, with Wayne murder clippings found at their homes. Richard presses Thomas on the connection, and in a subsequent interrogation, Barbara, handcuffed, dismisses Richard as a zombie fascist. Richard commends the outsiders for stepping up and questioning the motive behind the attacks on Elliot, Floss, and Dent. Barbara cryptically alludes to the Wayne murders and hints at a connection to a surface-to-air missile from Santa Prisca. She directs them to a defense contractor in Gotham tied to recent shipments of lumber from Santa Prisca. Barbara also reassures Thomas about the failed assassination attempt, hinting at more significant challenges ahead. In a later scene, Thomas and Richard visit Jason Todd amidst war-torn streets. As they approach a fenced-off compound, a guard insists that security drones remain outside. Richard, asserting his authority as Richard of the Grey Sons, representing President March, along with Senator Thomas Elliott, demands their entry along with the drones. Inside, Jason greets them sarcastically, acknowledging Elliott's absence from an after-party and expressing curiosity about their late-night visit. Richard hints at the RIM-72 Raptor missile. In the dimly lit room, tension hangs thick in the air. Jason dismisses the unfamiliar merchandise, claiming it's not his style in these parts. Richard challenges him, revealing a sinister discovery: a dozen LexCorp ordnance containers packed with destructive missiles beneath their feet. Tension escalates as Thomas, an outsider to the after-party drama, warns Jason about Gotham's harsh treatment of revolutionaries. Drones lock onto Jason, but he swiftly turns the tables, making them target Thomas and Richard. Amidst the growing conflict, Jason taunts, asserting his allegiance to the rising League of Assassins. The situation intensifies when Jason, armed and apologetic, threatens Thomas about a change in Talia's scenery. The scene takes a dramatic twist with a grenade igniting chaos, and a mysterious figure emerges from the flames. A bat-like demon. The enigmatic figure, known as Arkham's Devil, mercilessly dispatches guards. Amidst the chaos, Richard questions the newcomer, and Thomas identifies him from a rooftop encounter. As the chaos unfolds, the man incapacitates Jason and Richard. With a cryptic warning, the man disappears, leaving questions lingering in the smoke-filled air. Switching scenes, at the senator's residence, Thomas confronts Talia about the timing of potential danger. Talia defends the League's motives, but Thomas, skeptical, recounts Jason's alarming claims. Determined to unveil the truth, Thomas heads to Wayne Manor. However, upon entering, a mysterious voice calls out to him. In a dimly lit chamber, a battered and bruised Richard emerges, urgently inquiring about revelations concerning the Wayne murders. The air is thick with tension as accusations are flung in your direction. Thomas demands an explanation for Richard's presence, and the reply sends shivers down his spine. Richard discloses that as the head of the president's security, he's been tracking Thomas, suspecting him to be a potential target for the League of Assassins eyeing the Wayne fortune. A sinister twist unfolds as Richard reveals a knife, declaring that the Court of Owls has condemned him to death. Suddenly, the ground gives way, and bandaged hands emerge, dragging Thomas Elliott into the shadows. Awakening to a surreal scene, Thomas finds himself face-to-face with a man singing a haunting melody heard before at Arkham. As the lights flicker on, the cave reveals a chilling display of hanging cages. Alfred steps forward, admitting a grave error in judgment. Thomas confronts Alfred, questioning if he's the orchestrator, but Alfred denies it, claiming to be a mere servant of the Waynes. The atmosphere becomes ominous as a bat-like figure emerges from the shadows, and a scratchy voice accuses Thomas of a dark secret, orchestrating the death of his own parents through their family driver. In a desperate struggle, Thomas slips off a ledge, only to be caught by the bandaged figure. A chilling revelation follows as Thomas insists, "You're not Bruce," the imposter calmly retorts. "I used to confide in Dr. Crane about the possibility of us being real brothers thanks to my mother's words." Dismissing the notion of brotherhood, Thomas vehemently asserts, "You died on that table," but the imposter cryptically hints, "You weren't the only visitor that day," leaving Thomas to grapple with the unsettling truth. "Alfred was always with me. So was the handyman that we planted in Arkham." Jack Napier laughed a lot. "When things were set, Napier gave me the drugs and the autopsy scares. With Alfred's help, I learned what happened to my parents years ago, and Napier gave me access to the people in Arkham who could help me avenge them. I learned from the best. Amadeus Arkham, my guide in criminal psychology and the art of simulating a deteriorating psyche. Nick Mason, a fallen spy, shared expertise in disguise, lockpicking, and the world of espionage. Dolores Madigan, a martial artist turned murderer, imparted her knowledge of unarmed combat. Sal Buckets Barusco, the mob assassin, taught the art of killing with a message or leaving no trace. Casey Callahan, the renowned cat burglar and escape artist, with more than 200 successful prison breaks. Gideon Crowe, the infamous Scotland Yard detective turned serial killer, schooled me in detection, surveillance, poison, and much more. Thomas begins to scoot back, telling him, "We can fix this. I'm powerful now. We can make a real change here, Bruce. We can take back this city from the Owls, the mob, and the League of Assassins. We can start today." And Bruce asked, "Today? I've forgotten what that is, and you will too." And so the world turns, and everything remains as corrupt as it once was. Being the only known person with any connection to the Waynes, Alfred inherited the Wayne fortune. Talia quickly moved up and began to get close to President March, and the cave people were being taken off of the board and locked in the cave below Wayne Manor. And so is written the tragedy of Batman the Silenced, a mad, faceless apparition born of the houses of Wayne, Elliot, and Archibald. In all the worlds of the dark multiverse, few indeed are those in which Bruce Wayne does not take up the mantle of Batman. Even a lifetime locked away, tormented, broken by madness cannot prevent it. But this Batman has no Jim Gordon or an ally, or a Robin or the police to aid him. Only his poor mad servants, and many lessons were learned in the halls of Arkham. And that concludes the Batman Dark Multiverse Hush story.